Hi, this is Manohar from Coach Pro Consulting, and today we have come up with a topic: how to pass the PMP exam on the first attempt, that too with above target in all the three domains. We all know PMP certification exam preparation is a kind of difficult exam which is globally recognized. But what to do, how to plan, what is your strategy? So we are going to discuss on this topic today. So the first thing which I suggest is to get 35 hours of training from either PMI-ATP Instructor or PMI authorized training partner. You can also complete this training online. There are courses, many courses available on Udemy, on Simply Learn, and many other online portals. But my personal suggestion is to have a mentor, have a coach to help you, to guide you, to support you throughout your PMP certification journey. Because every time you need some suggestion, you are stuck somewhere, you need some clarity. If you are enrolling for online courses, you may reach out to your owner or the instructor who have uploaded those courses on those portals, but you may not get instant reply. You will have to wait for a few days, few hours, few weeks, and then you get the response. By that time, again, you might be moved on to other topics and all. But if you have a mentor, if you have a coach, you can reach out to them at any point of time, either by phone call or messages or email, and he or she definitely reach out to you as soon as possible. They may give you a call back and you may have a direct conversation. And based on the responses of one query, there may be another query, another questions might be popped up. So all those discussions, clarity you will get on a single call if you have the mentor. But getting the responses from portal or some online courses, the trainer is available, not available, you don't know. But if you have a coach, if you have a mentor, you know at what time your coach, your mentor is available and what is the best time to reach him or her. That's why get a 35 hours of training to qualify for PMP exam application process, and for that you should complete the training materials. You need to avail the certificate, and then you will be able to apply for the PMP exam. So that's my suggestion. My second suggestion is to work on your PMP application. To be eligible for the PMP exam, you need to meet PMP eligibility criteria. So there are two criteria. Either you should be holding a high school diploma that is equivalent to secondary education with a minimum of 5 years of project management, unique non-overlapping project management experience, plus 35 hours of project management training, which I just suggested under point number 1. If you have completed that, then you are eligible for the PMP exam. Alternatively, you should be holding a bachelor's degree, 3 years graduation or 4 years graduation degree, with a minimum of 3 years of unique non-overlapping project management experience plus 35 hours of project management training. So the details of the 35 hours of training completion, you will have to put it on your application. You need to enter your training provider, the name, the duration, from which month, which year, to which year, which month you completed this training. And if your application gets randomly selected for by PMI, In that case, you'll have to produce the certificate to them. You need to send the scanned copy of your 35 hours of training completion certificate to PMI in order to meet those audit requirements. So now the third step to pass the PMP exam on the first attempt is to come up with a study plan that works for you. Generally, people compare with other people, other person, that if somebody has passed the PMP exam in either 2 weeks or 4 weeks, I can too pass the PMP exam in 2 weeks or 4 weeks. Yeah, that's true. But you have to keep various factors in mind. The first factor is project management experience. The person who has qualified, who has cleared the PMP certification exam in 2 weeks might have 15 years of project management and leadership experience. But if you are comparing yourself to that particular person, so in that case you might be possessing only 3 years of project management experience. The people who are more experienced, it may take less time for them to prepare. It would be easy for them to capture those all knowledge areas and the task activities which are performed by the project manager. They can relate with their personal project management experience. But if you are comparing with yourself, since you have less experience, you have only 3 years of experience, in that case, you might not be able to capture each and every scenario, you might not be able to relate each and every project management questions, task with the activities or roles you have performed in the past. So depending on the experience of the person, the exam preparation time may vary. Okay, so please don't compare your study plan with others. You should come up with your own project management PMP exam preparation study plan. Second thing is IQ level. We all know everybody's IQ level is different. People who are more experienced can catch any scenario based questions easily. But people having less IQ may take time, may find it difficult during the actual exam, and if any of the particular question is taking more time, in that case the participant, the candidate can get nervous seeing the time is running after. Okay, so you have to manage your time effectively. You have to be consistent throughout the exam duration, so that you should not get stuck. You should not just spend more time on just one particular question. Third is the time. The PMP aspirant who are full-time, who are doing a full-time job. The PMP aspirant who are doing a full-time job may spend less time on their exam preparation. They may be able to spend hardly 1 to 2 or 2 to 3 hours. Because if somebody is working for 8 hours, 1 or 2 hours you can consider as a travel time. So they may not be able to spend more time, 4 hours, 5 hours on a daily basis to prepare and study for the PMP exam certification. But if you are comparing with somebody who is either doing part-time job or who is jobless, who is not doing any job at particular point of time, so just to utilize their time, if they are focusing to study the PMP exam materials and clear the PMP exam, they may be able to spend more time. They may be able to spend 5 to 6 hours a day. So it depends on person to person. The people who are spending more time on exam preparation, they may relatively take shorter timeline to prepare the complete course and write the actual PMP exam. And that's the reason my personal suggestion is you have to come up with your own study plan that works for you. You also need to consider your family time. You also need to consider your availability. You also need to consider your habit. If you are a morning person, you get up early in the morning, you can come up with a study plan during morning hours. You have a peace of mind, the weather is cool, you have a fresh mind. If you study things, you can capture well. But the person who might have a kind of morning shift or something, they may prefer to come up with a study plan during evening hours. So it's person to person what works best for them. They should come up with a study plan accordingly. A more experienced person can clear the PMP exam in 1 month or even 2 weeks. But the person who is having less experience or having a not exactly project management experience, but they have been working as a project coordinator or something, so for them relatively it will be taking a longer time. But my ideal suggestion, my recommendation is, please don't come up with a study plan that should span over more than 3 months. Ideally, you should come up with a study plan of maximum 4 to 8 weeks. 1 month to 2 months, that's the ideal duration to study, and the shorter time you take, the things are in your mind. Otherwise, if you are coming up with a longer study plan, you may start forgetting things. Things would start missing, and then you will have to recapture, relearn those things. So that would be kind of more difficult. Once you come up with a study plan, you should start working out consistently on your study plan. So the first step is to read the project management body of knowledge. Questions in your exam, PMP exam, come from the project management body of knowledge, and the answers also are there in project management body of knowledge. Okay, I request you to think each question by correlating it with your project management or with your own project management experience, but by correlating it with your project management body of knowledge. Because there are standard practices which PMI has come up with, and that's the content of project management body of knowledge. My personal suggestion is to read the project management body of knowledge at least 2 times word to word, and then start highlighting some major points, some major findings. Start creating some handwritten notes. Actually, these handwritten notes and highlighting things in the PMBOK guide will help you nearing to the exam time. Because nearing to your exam time, you won't get ample time to go through the PMBOK guide once again. It's more than 350 pages guide. But if you are making notes, handwritten notes, if you are highlighting things on a kind of printed version of PMBOK guide, that would be easier for you to go through it, relearn it, recapture it. If you are forgetting anything, or during the mock test, practice test, if you have to find anything, it would be easier for you to reach out to that chapter and easily relating it with that particular topic. Once you complete the PMBOK guide study 2 times word to word, then the next step is to read the exam content outline. That is also called ECO, exam content outline. Please keep in mind, if you are preparing for the PMP exam, you should read the project management exam content outline. You should read the PMP exam content outline. Because if you go to PMI website, for PGMP there are different exam content outline. For PFMP, Portfolio Management Professional Exam, there are different exam content outline. So please ensure, if you are reading exam content outline, read it for the PMP exam version. So kindly read the exam content outline at least twice the number of times you are reading the PMBOK guide. For example, if you are reading the PMBOK guide 2 times, then my personal suggestion would be you should study the PM exam content outline at least 4 times, 5 times. The PMP exam is based on the PMP certification exam content outline, not the PMBOK guide or the other reference books. Yes, you should study the PMBOK guide because there you are going to learn the techniques, you are going to learn the tools, about tools, and then in exam content outline all the task activities which you as a project manager is assumed that you should be performing these actions. So exam content outline lists all those activities in a sequence, and there are few questions in the PMP exam based on the sequence of activities. If you have completed this activity, what is the next activity you are going to do? And then there are a set of options, so you have to choose the best option, the next activity which you are going to perform. The PMP exam content outline helps you learn and understand the tasks that you as a project manager has to perform. I hope you should be studying PMBOK guide, exam content outline, as these are the primary study materials provided by PMI for the PMP certification exam. Once you have completed studying the PMBOK guide and exam content outline, it's up to you. You may find some secondary study material. They are written by good authors like Rita Mulcahy's 10th edition project management exam preparation training guide. So somebody can also opt for it, but depends. If you are more experienced, if you are satisfied that you have the required expertise as a project manager, it's not necessary, it's not mandatory to study the other secondary reference study materials. But if you think you are lacking somewhere, you are not scoring well in the mock test, you can refer the secondary study material as well. But whether you are studying the secondary study material or not, you have to move on to the next step, very important, that is practice mock questions, practice simulation questions. The more number of practice questions you solve, the more confidence you will gain to clear the actual exam. As a mentor, as a coach, I personally recommend you to solve a minimum of 1000 mock questions. And these questions should not be relatively easy. I recommend you to choose some best or average to moderate to difficult mock questions. There are multiple mock questions. There are many trainers, organizations who has launched the mock question simulation test. You can subscribe for any good version of mock questions, and you can practice them. The questions should not be relatively easy. Questions should be relatively moderate to difficult. Please don't practice only easy questions. Otherwise, in the real exam, actual exam, you'll be finding exam a bit difficult. But if you are practicing moderate to difficult questions more and more, you are going to capture more number of scenarios which you will encounter even in the real exam. And if you have been constantly achieving 85 to 90% scores in the mock test, in the simulation test consistently, then you should consider that you are ready for the real exam. After you complete each mock test, I request you to review at least all wrong questions. But it would be great if you are also reviewing the correct questions, that would be more meaningful, that would be more helpful. Now, I hope if you follow these step by step process, you would be in a good confidence, you will have good confidence to clear the PMP exam in the first attempt. You decide the timeline, you schedule the exam. Once you schedule the exam, you are psychologically under pressure that exam date is nearing, and please be focused, be consistent till you clear the exam, PMP exam. Once you write the PMP exam, once you make the exam success, it's your time, have fun, celebrate the success, enjoy the moment, spend time with family and your relatives, friends, your colleagues, and that means to you. Thank you.